Hey everyone, it's Julian, and we have a super exciting video today. We're going to be talking about everything that was in yesterday's stream that revealed Set 2 Infinity Evolved, and we're going to talk about all of the cards revealed, of course, but that'll be towards the end, because first we got to talk about all of the interesting news that was talked about. So let's get into it, but first I do want to say thank you guys so much for coming out to yesterday's stream. We had like 200 people watching, which was nuts. I remember like booting up the stream and going, wow, there's 10 people waiting. I'm like, why are there 10 people waiting to watch me react to the stream? But very, very appreciative, and it was a very fun stream, and I hope if you're new here, you guys enjoy the stuff that I make, and we're going to be doing more streams like that. Anytime there's news, we're going to be streaming it, so just wanted to say thank you guys, and yeah, welcome to everyone that's new here, right? So let's get into it, though. We have a lot to talk about. This might be a little bit of a longer video, so let's go. So first, we're going to be getting some release missions to get 10 packs of Infinity Evolved. Set 2 is going to be a very interesting thing to see how we're going to be able to acquire these cards. Someone like me who spent a lot of money in Set 1, I don't really want to spend money in Set 2 unless there's a bunch of bonuses or something that I really want, or like sleeves or whatever. So it's going to be interesting for someone like me to come in and see, hey, how easy is it going to be for me to get these cards and stuff I want. Obviously, again, I don't need everything. I don't, need everything or whatever, but I just want to see, I have a good amount of dust saved up. I have some rupees and stuff like that. But hopefully they bless us up with extra packs and stuff like that. This is a good step. In the original Shadowverse, they had when a set would come out, you'd just get 10 packs easy in your gift box, no questions asked. So I hope these release missions are on top of the 10 packs that we get just for celebrating the release. Because I don't, this is fine. This is cool. But I hope this is on top of the additional, normal 10 packs we always get. And I don't really want them to gate these 10 packs behind quests or whatever. But we'll see. But yeah, the set is called Infinity Evolved, obviously referencing Darkness Evolved, the second set in Shadowverse 1. And on the screen here, we have Odin and Grimnir, two very iconic Rage of Bahamut characters and Shadowverse characters. And I didn't guess these guys. I think I did kind of throw a shot out, maybe we'll get Grimnir or whatever, just because Grimnir is really popular. But it's going to be interesting to see how Grimnir plays. Odin, we already know. We're going to talk about his card in a second. But there's a bunch of other cards that are related to these guys that I'd love to see here. Jafner, Hinnikar. Very fun cards that I really enjoyed in the past. But let's get into some more news. So first off, some quests have been improved. So this is the auto-translated stuff. I'm going to try to sort of give you the real translations. Unfortunately, none of this stuff was uploaded to the English Twitter. But basically, they're changing quests to always refresh at 1 p.m. PST, which is really nice. I really like that because now it's just, okay, you know when you need to log in and complete your quest. And it's not like, hey, I complete my quest, but I didn't complete this quest, so now they're all out of whack, and I'm probably missing some quests at some point, right? Didn't enjoy that at all, and a lot of people did not enjoy that. And that was from Shadowverse 1. It's like, you gotta change that, So, like that, and then they changed some requirements. Some of these I don't really understand, but it sounds like they added a couple quests and changed, some of the requirements of some quests. But yeah, so overall, the main thing is the change to the daily reset being 1 p.m. PST, and that will reset the quests. I really like that. That gives me more incentive to just go in, do my quests, and get out instead of oh, I did my quest at this time, so I have to wait till whatever. It was just kind of messy. It was just kind of messy. So really like to see that. And yeah. Next thing is the next lobby tournament. They're going to experiment with 8 people lobby tournaments instead of 16 people. This is kind of interesting. I assume it's just because there's probably some feedback hey, these go really long, which I kind of understand, I get. But yeah, this could also be like a fix for like that glitch where everyone got booted out of a lobby tournament, and then we got all those rewards and stuff. So, but yeah, interesting to see. Lobby tournaments are not like anything I'm up out of my seat about, but I know a lot of people do really enjoy them, and I think they're a very cool concept. 8 people is kind of small, I would say. I almost would love if they did, okay, they're 8 people, but you can join both of them now. I think that would be kind of cool, but yeah, anyway. Next is a big one, kind of tying back into what I just talked about with the 10 packs. A special deck giveaway campaign is being held. All users will receive a deck containing cards from the second set. Even right after starting the game, you can choose one of 7 classes to acquire. So this means every player, every person, is going to be able to choose a deck to get. I really love this. I think this is awesome. Even if they're just like the starter decks, I think if they do this for every set, you're going to be able to really build upon your collection for free, pretty much. So even if they're 1 legendary, 3 golds, I still think this is really nice. If they're doing this every set. If this is the last set they do this for, I think they should just make the decks like give us 3 legendaries and 9 golds. But if they intend to do these every set, I really, really like this. Really like this. Obviously, we can see Yuzuki and Gensetsu on the front of the Abyss deck list, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully, these are all new cards, and I think that's expected, is that the decks are all new cards, so to really get a chunk of that collection done, right? So hopefully that is what it is. Sword I'm interested in. Obviously, it seems like we're getting 3 legendaries per. Actually, I should check that. I'm going to try to remember to check that at the end of the video. Is go to the website and see if they say how many cards we're getting. But if we're getting 3 legendaries per class, we could get the newly revealed Anathema of Sword. She looks really cool and seems really good for Sword. But, we'll have to see what all of these face cards are going to be. Then we have some tournament news. I'm going to kind of talk about this pretty fast. We are getting into, like, tournament season. And obviously, as you guys know, I'm a very competitive player, and I like playing, competitively. Obviously, I have my issues with the best of 1 format, but I will be doing a lot of videos trying to prepare people for these high-level tournaments that are coming out. SVO, this online championship. We have another thing coming out that I'm not sure is Japan or not. We'll have to see, but the online championship is available to everyone, and it's going to be August 23rd to 24th. And it will be streamed, which is pretty fun. Entries will be open on the, on the Shadowverse Navi Worlds Beyond on Tuesday, July 29th. So, hold on 1 second. All right, no sneeze. I muted myself because I was like, I don't want to blow anyone's eardrums out, So we do this live. So online championship, very cool. And then we'll talk about the details here. So the qualifying round is going to be 10 rounds. Swiss, 2-deck best of 1. All players with 8 or more wins advance to day 2. Day 2 is going to be Swiss rounds, 8 rounds. And then still 2-deck best of 1. And then the top 32 advance to the playoffs. And then the playoffs is single elimination, best of 3. So you use those decks in the classic, 2-deck. Does it say here the classes will be? I can't read that. It's too low, but too small. But it will be, you have to win with both of your decks, and you have to win with both of your decks, basically. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. I will definitely be talking about this a lot when it starts to come up, and we'll definitely start to talk about more the tournament meta and like what I think is good for tournaments and stuff. And we're gonna ramp that up once set 2 comes out, because SVO starts in like 2 weeks after set 2 comes out. So we're gonna have to find what's good pretty fast, So yeah, pretty excited. Next, something I'm very excited for actually is 2-pick, or called Take 2 in English. Take 2 is the draft format for Shadowverse. In this mode, you choose from pairs of cards displayed and then battle with a deck of 30 cards. And they made an amazing change to Take-Two. This will be added in August. And the change they did I not bring it up? Here we go. Okay. Is now when you go in, you can pick from any class. So originally you would just get a choice of 3 classes, which is just adds more randomness to it, right? Because it is already an inherently random format, right? Also, the like I never played Take-Two just because it's like usually there is like a best class, and if you don't get that class, it's like, it's kind of rough. Also in Japan, they did a lot of Take-Two rounds in tournaments, like in big tournaments. You'd have to play Take-Two. So I like this added, like, hey, if you know like one class in and out, you can just pick it, or if there is a best class, you just pick it, and then it gives Cygames more info to be able to nerf things in Take-Two or whatever. But the way this is going to work is when you load in, you're going to see each class has 2 cards, including one will definitely be a legendary, and those are the 2 cards you start out with. So there was some confusion in the stream chat. These set cards, so it shows Elf, or it shows Forest, it shows Rose Queen and Avatars. That does not mean you will always get Rose Queen and Avatars when you pick Forest. Those are just in this like randomized thing. Those are just the cards that they got, right? So I just wanted to make everyone clear on that. Is these will still be random. It'll just be 1 legendary at minimum and probably a gold. But sometimes you get 2 legendaries. So yeah, I'll be talking about Take-Two a bunch once it starts to get more closer to release, and we get an actual release date instead of just August. But very excited for this. And I think it's good that they made this change so it doesn't feel like you waste your rupees going in. And it could be a good way to sort of, if you get good at it, farm rewards and stuff, So I say get good at it, but get lucky and good at it, right? So yeah, next thing I want to talk about, this is just a very side thing. They're doing some event in the lobby, but there's a Bahamut hologram, and I know like Bahamut is like the icon for Cygames, but we could get Bahamut this set. I do think that we're going to get Bahamut sooner rather than later. Next set is All Omens, so I don't think he'd fit there. I think he would fit more here in the like sort of ROB, very like last ROB themed set. But not last ever, but like last that we know of, right? So we will see. I think Bahamut just needs to be in the game here soon. And yeah, so next, this one, if you guys saw my reaction on stream, this is probably the thing I was most out of my chair for. Card style sets information. They're going to be selling these card styles and sets, and I was ecstatic, man, because they went into the archives to find the old series art. I love this art. And the old Forte art, the old Forte summer art, or it's not summer, but it was an alternate art, or like a one of the second or third Forte art they released in Rage Bahamut. This was like the always modded in art from back in the day in Shadowverse 1, and they actually released this as an ultra rare in Shadowverse Evolved, the physical game. I love this art. This is so cool. And man, I'm starting to cope for my Amelia art. On my thumbnails, on my streams, I use this Amelia art, probably my favorite art, probably of all time, honestly. And if they ever added that, I would cry. So, and then also we get an Arya, very cool Arya Fairy Circle alternate art. Really love this. I hope they do this more. I really love this alternate art style thing. I also appreciate that Mushimaru doesn't really work with the company anymore, so it's very cool to be like, hey, here's, Forte's so iconically Mushimaru that it's like, here, here's a card style for the card like they did with Olivia. So I really, really love that. Last thing, a little bit of a leak, right? A little bit of a, a little, interesting thing here. So they kind of revealed the leaders. So we knew Feline. If you want to see my reaction to the flashbang, if you know what I mean, of the Feline leader, You can definitely check that out. Was not expecting that, to be honest. Yeah, I was just like, what the hell, But anyway, and then we have Aether, who was kind of leaked already, but of course I did predict. If you guys want to go watch that prediction video, Aether, I'm very excited for. I love Aether. But the middle one is really interesting. It's Titania. Obviously, Queen of the Fairies. Let me just bring up like a Titania card real quick. So Titania's Sanctuary, very iconic forest card. It was an amulet, 5-drop, and then it just can evolve an allied fairy each turn for 0 evolution points. So like not good. Like this is not a good card. Back in the day, it was like, playable. Same with like in Evolve, it was kind of like, is this playable? It was kind of close to playable, but could they make Titania an actual character? That would be really awesome. I love the design. This is like peak Ponzu. This is like the backgrounds, everything is popping. That would be cool if she's a character. Or a card, and but I could see her being like the D shift, where it is like the one leader that is like not a follower, so it could be an amulet again. I would be kind of upset if it was like an amulet that's just like, I don't know, we don't need more forest amulets. I feel like Godwood Staff is already really good. I would like if Titania was a card that buffed fairies or something like that. Get us more into that mid-range forest as an option instead of just Roach. But very excited. I mean, Titania is like, pretty iconic, like, ROB character, but not one that really connects. Like, she's never connected the streams between, like, ROB to Shadowverse. Like, she had a card, but, like, the popularity never was there. So it's very interesting to see her, like, as a leader. I think that's awesome, but it's interesting. I definitely expected Liza to be the leader. But yeah, this is going to fill out the rest of the classes that did not get get leaders last set, right? But yeah, very excited. But we zoom in, zoom in a little bit. Look at the bottom there. Look at the sleeves. So we saw the lapis sleeves earlier. I did not show those, but we are getting some lapis sleeves from this event, or from this thing. This is paid, crystal and stuff. But look who's at the bottom there in the purple hair. It's obviously an LM7 art. LM7 is an artist that used to work with Cygames a lot. They kind of stopped working with them, and then obviously if you guys play Arknights, they do a lot of characters in there. That was one of my big things of getting into Arknights, but this is not an Arknights video. One of my more favorite artists. And I know, I'm like, immediately, like, okay, this is LM7. I went through the entire archives of ROB, like, LM7 art. Could not find this character. And, like, my immediate, reaction is, like, I think that's Sharon, because you have, like, the horns. And I think that this is a new LM7 Sharon art. If LM7 came back to do art for Shadowverse, we are living the best life. We are living the best lives. Also, another artist thing is all 3 of the leaders are Ponzu. New Ponzu art too, which is like, you got it. He is one of the, as I call, like, admirals, one of the 3 admirals of Shadowverse or Cygames artists. So very cool to see him get kind of his flowers or whatever, and let him do three leaders, which is very cool. But yeah, very excited for all of this. This is all like cosmetic stuff, but just very excited for all this. And then, yeah, here's a comparison. This is Summer Sharon, and then you could see sort of like the horns, right? But this is not the exact art, right? So, and also if you followed him a lot, or them, I don't know if it's, but you can kind of see the faces a little different. This is like more of the new art style face. So this is new, LM7 art on Sharon, one of my most favorite characters that I predicted, one of my first predictions, for this set. We're living. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. We'll have to see what that's about. And the set comes out in a week, so we won't have to wait too long. But now we get to the part I'm sure a lot of people are excited for, the card reveal. So let's first start with the first one they revealed, Odin. 7-drop 4/2. Fanfare, select enemy card on the field. So that's amulets as well, right? And banish it. And then he has Storm. So I like this card as an option that we are just going to be able to have. Like, if amulets get too out of hand, we're going to be able to play Odin in our decks and remove amulets. Is he good? It's a very hard question to answer. Is he good? Extremely understated. Extremely understated. Like, really, really, really understated. 4-2 for 7 is really bad. If we kind of do the like math of like how much are we paying for the body and how much are we paying for the effect of banishing something, probably gets out to like 3 play points for the banish part and then 4 play points for the body. But I really don't like how low his stats are. If they were any higher, he probably would be pretty good. Obviously, he has Storm, so that's just really nice. And obviously, we do have to think about the fact that we have Super Evolution available to us. And he could Super Evolve for 7. Think about like cards like Selwyn. Selwyn was played a little bit in Force decks. This is obviously better than Selwyn. Like any deck that you'd want to play Selwyn in, you probably just play Odin for sure. But I don't know. I'm going to be very interested to see how this card plays. My immediate reaction is he's just going to play like the original Odin. The original Odin was 8 play points for 3, banish something. No Storm or anything. And I think he just went into just hard control decks or ramp dragon decks. And I think that's going to be exactly Odin's place in Worlds Beyond is hard ramp decks or hard control decks. And sometimes ramp ends up being a hard control deck, right? But yeah, I don't know. I even like him just being like a 7 mana, like banish something and swing 4 into something else and remove something. I could see that. I know this is one of the most like we gotta wait and see cards. And I think that it's an interesting card. I like that they gave us access to banish, and I also like that they didn't make it so bad. Because like if he didn't have Storm or he was like low cost, didn't have Storm or something, it would be pretty bad. So he at least fills a couple roles for decks that like would want to play the card. So we'll see about Odin. I'm a little down on him, but we'll see. Next card, a card I'm actually pretty excited for the more I think about it. Gensetsu and Yuzuki Twin Calamities. 9-drop 5/9 on play selected mode to activate. First one is summon 4 copies of One-Tailed Fox. And the second one is destroy 4 random enemy followers. Restore 4 defense to your leader. We'll talk about the first part first. So the foxes are 2-drop 2/3s, rush, ward. Last words give a random allied Gensetsu and Yuzuki +1 attack. So very similar to the original Gensetsu, right? But also you can think of in the Worlds Beyond context, this is very much like an Amalia, right? Because it's like a big body, comes down, and summons a bunch of rush wards that can clear stuff. Obviously in the sword matchup, you're probably doing the AoE clear, or not the AoE clear, but the kill 4 things randomly first anyway, and the heal is really nice. I definitely think that the second option for this card is the better one right now. Being able to fully clear the opponent's board and heal you 4 is really nice in a hard control deck. I love this card, honestly. I think this is everything that I would want in a card right now in Worlds Beyond in a control deck. Like I've talked about, a lot of the bad decks do not have access to removal that is not not overcosted or using an evolve point, right? So this is a insane removal, big body, and it costs no evolve points, so it's never dead once you get to the play points that you need to play that. Yeah, just having really high value cards like this is really good, I feel like, in this game. And it's very flexible too. Like if you get to a spot where you don't need to remove 4 things, you just summon 4 foxes and you have a big board now, right? Really, really like this card. And I think this is underrated right now. I think a lot of people are down on this. I do think 9 costs is a lot, but I think we're going to be able to make a deck with a bunch of healing and a bunch of stuff where we can get to this. And obviously, if we have Cerberus, who's an insane late game card already, but she needs a super Evo. So a 9 play point that curves out of the Cerberus, and does not need any Evos at all. I really, really like. Very good against like cards like Orcus, right? obviously they could play another puppet, and this is also assuming they didn't kill any of your guys at all, right? They have but if they just went all face and then have an extra puppet, they have 4 things. So you just pop all 4 things and you heal 4, and you have a 9 health thing. Really insane. Really, really like this card. So yeah, will be interesting to see. Side note, it's funny that they combined both of them. I do think they did Gensetsu a little dirty. Gensetsu is a very popular character. And Yuzuki's was kind of tacked on to Omen of the Storm's group. But I do like both of them, and I would have liked to see both of them get separate cards. But yeah, it makes sense that they're doing Abyss, so yeah, let's combine the blood and shadow stuff like that. So another thing is, like I said in the stream, I do think that since they're combining 2 cards that would be legendaries, we could see more Abyss legendaries than we think. If they want to make Sharon a legendary, I don't think Sharon would be a legendary, but the immediate one that comes to mind is Vampy. Us getting Vampy would make a lot of sense. And yeah, so very excited for this card, and just excited for Control Abyss, honestly. So yeah, we talked about the Fox. Next card, I'm sure a lot of people are excited for this card in various ways. 2-drop Feline, 2-drop 2/2. Again, another Ponzu art, new Ponzu, he is one of the goats, for real. Fanfare, if you're an overflow, add a White Frost Whisper to your hand. She's a 2-drop 2/2 with Bane. So, fully statted fighter. Fighter is the sort of generic term we use for a 2-drop 2/2 with Bane, which is, awesome. Very much reminiscent of, Masamune, right? On evolve, deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. So already this card is pretty stacked, pretty good against kind of aggro decks, right? Because it's an early game body that can contest the board. And then on evolve, you're going to be able to clear out some of their things, hopefully with the 1 damage, and then Bane swing into a big body. Say a Zirconia board comes down, you can go Feline plus Apollo, clear their like little things, and then swing with the Bane in. Well, I guess at that point you wouldn't need the Bane because it'd be 6/4. But you know, you can think of scenarios like that. Amalia is probably a better example of like Feline into Apollo and then swing into Amalia. But at that late in the game, we won't need that because White Frost Whisper is insane. 3-drop spell, destroy all damaged enemy followers. So the original White Frost Whisper was just execute. It was just like 2-drop, destroy a damaged enemy follower. Destroy all damaged enemy followers? Like, okay. And then second part, because this card wasn't good enough, increase the cost of all cards in your opponent's hand by 1 until the end of your turn. Until the end of their turn. This one card is shot Dragon up very high, I think. This card is just everything Dragon needs. All we need now is like more card draw, or an abundance of ramp, like I talk about. So let's break this card down a little bit. So for 5 mana and an Evo point, you can clear a board, right, in Overflow. So you play Feline, get your White Frost Whisper, Evo Feline, deal 1 damage to all the enemy followers, and then execute them all with White Frost Whisper. That's obviously insane. That's like absurd, right? For 5 play points. And it's flexible too. Like it's not like 5 play points you have to play at once. It's you can hold this card, right? And then let's get into the second effect that you might be the reason you want to hold this card, right? Is the increased cost of all cards in your opponent's hand by 1. This is gonna really mess up a lot of decks that sort of either play on curve or decks that have very specific turns they want to get off at specific times. So think about Sword, right? At certain times around like that 7, 8, 9 play point turns, you're going to be able to really mess them up because, you know, hey, I really want to play Amalia here, but oh, it's a 9-drop now, and hope you have the second Geno, right? Will you be playing that mode on Sword a lot? Probably not, because the AoE is probably better, and the AoE clear is probably better. But other decks, like Roach, this messes Roach up completely, right? Because now Roach is 4 play points, and all of your cheap things are 1 or 2 cost, right? So it kind of just stops their Roach turn completely. And then, of course, one of the big ones is Spell Boost. I wouldn't say Spell Boost gets completely killed. None of these decks get completely killed by this card. But it definitely stops the like turn 10, stuff with the Cocytus, right? So like if you make this Cocytus, if you play this on the turn where Cocytus would come down, it is an 11 cost, right? So they can't do that. They could still cool on. One thing I just thought about is if you D-shift over 18, will it, like, if it's like spell boosted by 20, the D-shift, the dimension climb, and you play this, would it still cost 0 or would it cost 1? That's something I'll have to see. Kind of would think it would cost 0 still. So that might make this card a little worse in that matchup. But yeah, this is just an insane card. This is just an insane card. On a fighter. Like, on a fighter that Dragon really needed, to be honest. Dragon did not have like a ton of good... Well, that's not true. It didn't have a ton of good fighters, but it had good 2-drops if you were playing aggro. So yeah, really like this card. Really, really, really strong. One of the strongest cards we saw today. Or last night. Next card is Little Anthem. Anathema of Audacity. Lots of words, I have no idea what they mean. 8-drop 5/5 Aura. This is a Runecraft card. This is Earthright. Last words, Earthright 2, summon a Little Anthem. Anathema of Audacity. So very similar to the Juggler. The 2-drop 2/2 that when it died, I think that, hold on, let me just bring this up because I think it's relevant. Not Juggler. What was his name? I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, but he was a 2-drop 2/2 with Earthright, summon him again. So very interesting, very like cool that they made this like a boss monster, because I think that's a cool idea for Earthright. Is this good? I don't know. And then, sorry, Super Evolve, select 2 enemy files on the field and destroy them. I don't know. I think 8 is really late. I would have loved to see this have Ward as well. Wait, that would have been probably pretty broken. Well, no, because you'd eventually be able to get all the Earthrights out, right? Because it's like you couldn't hoard Earthrights that much going into turn 8. So if this had Ward, that would have been pretty cool. And it's just like, here's this body that you cannot get rid of until you eat all of our Earthrights, right? Because like at 8 mana, 5/5's not doing much. And this kind of just like obviously you have to Super Evo on this turn to like regain the sort of regain the tempo, right? But after that, it's just sort of like it almost reads as like 8 play point, you can't kill this thing, and is that good as a 5/5? Probably an 8/8 after Super Evolve. I think no right now. I think no. But it's interesting. We'll have to see if Earthright gets more support here. I would love to see like Earthright get a second legendary here. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about Earthright in general because I think it has a lot of good cards. And I think this is one that you'll probably just end up playing in Earthright. But Earthright needs a lot of card draw right now. That's sort of its weakness. And this does not do that. This is just sort of like a boss monster, but it's like really weak. So I don't know. We'll see. This is very much like a wait and see type card, but interested. Next we have probably the card I'm most excited for. Gildaria, Anathema of Peace. I love this design. I've said this 50,000 times today, but new Ponzu art as well. He is one of the goats. Very cool. Like she almost looks like a Navy captain, with the coat and everything, with the sword. Just very cool design. I really like this design. She also looks like some sort of animal too, because she has like ears. I'm not sure what animal that is. It kind of looks like a leopard or something, like a snow leopard or something. But anyway, 6-drop 4/4 sword. Rally 20. Super Evolve this follower. So Rally is coming back, and that is very important because it also shows that a lot of these other keywords can come back. So I think blood players, hold on. We might get Wrath, especially next set with Valneric. Rally 20 Super Evolve this follower. So what is Rally? Rally is whenever a follower enters the field on your side of the field, the rally count goes up by 1. So play a 2/2. Rally 1, right? In the beginning of the game. Evo Zirconia. It adds the 3 rally because it's Zirconia and the 2 bodies, right? And it goes up by 3. And it's just sort of a passive thing you can build. And in the previous game, there was a lot of like insane rally stuff and payoffs, like where once you hit this rally thing, you were just getting a ton of free stuff and a ton of value and stuff. So I don't really want them to go that route, but I love this, like, hey, here's a like rally payoff, but it's really the way this reads is like, if you're in the late game, this is gonna super evolve. So I really like that. I hope we don't see too many rally stuff, because I don't love when we have like an abundance of those keywords that kind of become like quests to complete. I don't love that sort of gameplay style of Shadowverse. But we'll have to see. But I am overall really excited that Rally's back, and hopefully that means Wrath and some of this other stuff is back. Whenever another allied follower enters the field, deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. Really nuts effect. And then when this follower evolves, so this is important. So remember, a ton of people were like, wow, my, Zirconia doesn't work with Olivia, stuff like that. That's how it's always worked, because it's an on-evolve effect, right? But a card like this would work with Olivia if you play Olivia and then this card and then Super Evo. I guess you'd need an extra play point, right? So probably not a scenario that will happen a lot. But just to show everyone how the wording would be different for a card that would work with Olivia, it would be when this follower evolves, right? Not evolve, yada yada whatever, right? So when this follower evolves, summon 2 Steelclad Knights and give them Rush. So all in all, this card is going to be a 6-drop 4/4 on evolve, so it'll become a 6/6 or a 7/7 if you super evolve. But summon 2 Knights, 2 2/2s with Rush. Deal 2 damage AoE, because you just summoned 2 things. And then you're going to be able to send those Steelclads into other things to clear, and you're going to be able to swing this into something and clear as well. This card is absurd. This card is really, really strong. And that's not even counting the fact that in the late game, it's never a dead card if you run out of Evo points, because at Rally 20, it's just going to super evolve and do it itself. I love that type of design. One of my frustrations with Shadowverse is when you have cards that are specific at an exact time, and if you miss it, it's really bad, or if you don't have Evo points left, it's really bad, right? So I love that they're designing cards that are like, hey, in the late game, this is still relevant even if you're out of Evo points. I think this card is insane. This is probably my first craft, probably my first craft. I'm going to be interested to see like what other support Sword gets. Yeah, but this fits right into normal mid-range Sword. And it's really going to help a lot of those like awkward boards that are really hard to clear, that like Rune can pump out, right? Like an Andrea, Flame Destroyer boards and stuff like that. Really excited about this card. This card is just good in every aspect. So yeah. Next card, another card I'm very excited for, Wilbur. I think a lot of people are excited for him. One of my favorite like Shadowverse original characters. He's a knight with glasses. Like, I don't know. I think that's really cool. 6-drop 4/6. Ward, last word, summon 2 Holy Cavaliers. Holy Cavaliers are 1/2s with Ward. On evolve, gain Crest Wilbert. The crest has no countdown, so it just lasts forever. It does not stack, though. Crests do not stack in this game. Whenever an allied follower with Ward enters the field, give it +1/+2. So if you evolve this guy, when he dies, he's going to summon 2 2/4s. Pretty good. That's an understatement. And then all of your Ward guys are going to be getting +1/+2. So we already have a good amount of Ward cards. I mean, the immediate, probably best Ward card is the Bellringer. Bellringer is really strong. Other ones like the Holy Shield Maiden is kind of interesting, because after this effect, it'll be a 3-drop 3/3 with Barrier. I did that math right? Yeah, 3-drop 3/3. And then, we already saw a... let me see if I can bring it up, actually, because I just realized I did not bring this card up. We saw 2 other Ward cards. Sharetta Angelic Maid. This is a neutral... Actually, I'll talk about this card to say I want to finish Wilbur, because I think there is more to talk about with Sharetta. But anyway, we're going to be getting a lot more ward cards as well. And I think this will finally give Haven an option to not just be like a full control deck. Think about the best cards in Haven right now, Salif and John. They both have ward. So really like that. I know a lot of people talking about the Holy Falcon. I don't think the Holy Falcon is that good in a deck like this because you have to have an amulet for him. And I think this is going to be more of a board-based deck. Having an amulet that takes up a board spot is probably not something you want to do. But of course, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But my immediate reaction is like, obviously you're playing Wilbert, Salefa, and John because those cards are just absurd, So we'll have to see about the Falcon and stuff. I'm not too sold on the Falcon, but yeah. So Wilbert pretty good, yeah, excited to see what Wardhaven has to bring. Are we gonna get Elena? Elena would be really sick. Combination of these two, very famous Haven archetypes. Yeah, we'll have to see. I would no. Would they do I think Aether would be the leader no matter what. But I would be interested to see like would they if they did Elena, it probably would be the leader. But anyway, Aether of course is coming as well. I think she'll be probably something similar. Notice, so Aether in the past was a 6-drop 1/3. Summon the highest cost Havencraft follower from your deck and put into play. And then later editions had ward on it. Aether had ward on it. Also, the Evolve version was very similar, but it was like the Evolve version was very cool. I really like the Evolve version. But anyway, notice that this card does not have fanfare. Because the old Aether, fanfares wouldn't activate the old Aether because that's just not how the game works. Like the game, when you play something from your deck or not from hand, the fanfares don't activate. So I could see it, they're sort of making a deck for Aether and Wilbert where Aether brings out Wilbert, and then you evolve Wilbert, and you don't, like, it doesn't matter that the fanfare doesn't activate because he doesn't have a fanfare, right? So yeah, very excited about this. I'm very, very excited about Wardhaven. Like I said in the stream last night, when Wardhaven is good, it has a lot of cheap draw cards. When it's bad, it doesn't have that. So that is something that we got to be on the lookout for is cheap draw cards. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. We'll talk about these cards too. Sharetta, Angelic Maid, 2-drop 2/2, neutral with ward. So already like really stacked vanilla or really stacked neutral fighter. And then fanfare, if you've unlocked Super Evolution, give this follower +3 health. 2-drop 2/5 ward. Really good. Insane with Olivia, right? This card is actually, whoa, I just brain blast. This card is like broken with Olivia, actually. Actually, this card is questionably, maybe too strong with Olivia. 5/8 ward that's protecting your 7/7. I don't like this card as a sword player either because it screws over Geno if you are playing Olivia with this card, and it screws over Albert. Obviously, yes, you can super evolve Geno, but don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. That's the whole point of Geno. Geno's whole point is that you can remove stuff without super evolving. So, yeah. And then another card we saw is 3-drop 2/4 ward. Evolves like the super evolved enemy follower on the field and destroy it. This card reads really badly. Maybe a 3-drop 2/4 ward is good enough, but this card reads terribly. But maybe we just play it just because it's it is a ward, ward card with a niche effect. Is it a gold? It's a gold too. That's a rough gold. That's a rough gold. Is it a gold? Looks like a gold. No, it's a bronze. Okay, it's a bronze. It's a bronze. Okay. It's a bronze. That's good. I was like, that's pretty rough. But yeah, that is the video. Card I'm most excited for, definitely Gildaria. Very cool. I'm very excited to see what the voice actor is. You guys know, when I heard the Burnite voice actor, I freaked out. Very excited to see what the voice actor is gonna be for this card. And yeah, we're gonna basically be getting reveals every day now. So I will be talking about those every day when we get them. And we have a lot of cards to go through. Oh, that's what I was gonna check. Yes. If they said how many cards were gonna be in the set. I imagine there's some like main page let's just see if they said anything about this. Cards. Set 2. Yeah, here's Infinity Evolved. Infinity Evolved's kind of a broken name, too. Oh, they don't. They don't even have any info at all. That's kind of sad. Yeah, that's kind of sad. Here we can see some of the, like... I was almost about to click the button. I'm not going to click the button. I'm not going to click the button. I know some people would be very excited if I click the button. I'm not going to click the button. Her Evo art looks sick. What is her Evo art? That's pretty cool. What is their Evo art? Just kind of rotated, yeah. Wilbert, yeah, rotated. And then Odin. Odin is so sick. This art is so good. Very reminiscent of a classic Odin art from ROB. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, it was a very fun video to make. And let me know what card you guys are excited about. And let me know what card you hope gets into the game here, right? I think we did pretty good on our predictions. I think biggest thing, probably biggest miss that's like, we'll see if it's a miss, is the Zeus and Gabriel. Really shocked that they just got voice cards and aren't getting cards in this set. Maybe that'll be set 3. Maybe that entire, like, prediction thing was just wrong. Again, feels really weird to bring the voice actors in to voice a Silver and not go, hey, can we get you in the booth again for 3 more lines for Legendary? But yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.